Hi there, I'm exhausted. Look, one man can only make up so much BS based on fragments of completely unrelated stories before he needs to take a little break. Thankfully, there's a way for us to harken back to the roots of this channel and shamelessly continue to ride this wave of VTuber popularity. VTuber anime. You see, if there was anything this channel used to be known for, it was watching obscure or bizarre anime and talking about it for way longer than I should have. Though I've clearly been off my anime game for a while. By the way, throughout the duration, the cards will be recommending some of my older videos, so please go check them out. I promise they're just as interesting as the VTuber stuff. So what better way to get back into it than combining it with my recent obsession with VTuber stories? I mean, what could possibly go wrong? Is it too late to do something else? Let's start with a little hypothetical. Let's say you have a collection of anime characters that are voiced by streamers that double as idols, entertainers, and comedians, with fan bases mostly comprised of otaku and weebs. What do? If you answered anything other than make an anime to capitalize on their popularity, I've got some really bad news for the future of your marketing career. Thus, Nijisanji did exactly that. Mainly using the 3D models made for their 3D streams, the companies puppet their characters into whatever scenes they see fit and have the streamers voice act the scripts. It's a simple enough idea, one that seems pretty hard to mess up. But did these groups actually pull it off? Or should the streamers stick to streaming and leave the anime writing to the experts? Starting off with Choco Sanji, aka Snack Time, Nijisanji's JB branch gives us bite-sized gags and jokes that honestly surprised me with how funny I found some of them. I didn't find them laugh out loud funny, but the jokes per minute ratio was high and the delivery was usually on point. Plus they're all so short I might as well talk about each one individually. Episode 1 introduces Kenmochi's Nijisanjification project, which aims to turn all humans into Nijisanji livers. This is probably a term that you heard in some of the debuts, and if you didn't know what it meant, now you do. As all is going according to plan, Kagami barges in to point out that the logistics of having the entire world's population needing to share one office building is far too impractical, and that nobody would be able to actually enjoy watching VTubers if they all were VTubers. Because those are clearly the biggest issues with this plan. Then we discover it was all just Kenmochi's idea for an anime. The end. This is a really strong start to the show. Keeps things fast and witty, jokes are hitting you at a breakneck pace, the animation is punchy and funny, and the final punchline hits hard. On the opposite side of this is episode 2. The jokes are slow to reveal themselves, there's next to no animation, and that final punchline just doesn't really do it for me. There were maybe 2 jokes in the whole bit that I found slightly amusing, but the rest just kind of lightly tap you on the cheek instead of full on hitting you. This one clearly takes the seeing the daily lives of the VTubers bit a little too seriously. Speaking of seriously, episode 3 is quite the drama. I don't know what the fuck is going on in most of it, but it at least had me entertained throughout. I mean, is there a reason Chika can't eat oden when he's hungry? Is this some deep lore thing I'm unaware of, or is this a Japanese cultural thing? I don't know. Episode 4 feels like an extremely condensed version of a slice of life episode, and I'm absolutely here for it. Cute and fun. Episode 5 just kind of happens at you. I don't know how else to describe it. Things are happening so fast that if you look away for even a second, you'll get completely lost. Hell, even if you're staring at it the whole time, you may still get lost. Also, I couldn't help but get distracted by the Pomu music. Episode 6 is... Hell yes! If you don't know about the wild exploits of Fui no Tamaki, you need to rectify that right now. The girl is nuts, and I love her. And there's also something undeniably Tamaki about the fact that she's not even actually in the episode. It's just cat sounds, and honestly, that just kind of feels right. Episode 7 is about some of the livers finding themselves on a deserted island. Not a ton to say here, it does get back into the clearer comedy side of things, but nothing is really outrageously funny, except these shark models. Episode 8 starts normally, and then this happens. Oh god, what the hell is this cursed source filmmaker shit? Why did his body do that? And they keep doing it! I'm horrified, but I gotta admit, it's pretty funny. Episode 9 has all these real-life objects put into it that have this weird, uncanny nature to them, which does add to the horror joke that they're going for, but honestly, screw the rest of the plot, because at one point the subtitles say bussin', and I still haven't mentally recovered from that. Episode 10, I don't know, exists. Sarah is kinda cute. Episode 11, on the other hand, is finally another genuinely funny episode. It's a goofy, wacky time that begs you to just shut off your brain and enjoy. Also, Yu-Gi-Oh! References will always get a thumbs up in my book. And finally, episode 12 is actually a time travel episode where Debiru, Rion, and Mikoto go back in time to change the events of several of the past episodes in an attempt to make them funnier. Incredibly, they somehow make them all significantly less funny. And with that, we've reached the end of snack time. What do I think? It's a thing. Maybe it's because I'm not Japanese and thus didn't develop the sense of humor to appreciate Japanese gag comedy, but I just didn't find any of it outrageously funny. I will say that the bite-sized nature does work to its advantage in that nothing really overstays its welcome. If I had to pick a best episode, it'd probably be episode 1 or 11. They both really epitomize the rapid-fire joke nature needed for a video this short. The gags are strong and the punchlines hit hard. But I wish there was some kind of Nijisanji anime for an English-speaking Westerner like me.
It's the ocean. Let's go.
You really love the ocean, don't ya?
Oh boy! Welcome to Niji Scenario, Nijisanji EN's answer to JP's snack time. Now, calling Niji Scenario an anime is generous, seeing as it's basically an auto-playing visual novel, but they do call it one, so we will too. Partially because this video needs to be longer. Each episode is once again just a 1 to 2 minute skit of rapid-fire humor starring your favorite EN livers. But as we mentioned before, this time they take on the form of various art pieces instead of the 3D models used in snack time. The first 2 episodes detail the escapades of Lazulite and Obsidia at the beach. Both feel like extremely condensed beach episodes of a slice of life and gag anime respectively, with the Lazulite's episode showing the girls heading there to swim before garnering the attention of 2 boys and having a little group beach date. Obsidia's episode, on the other hand, shows Petra trying to show Rosemi and Selene how to have fun on the beach before the 2 of them get her distracted with beach food. Etheria's episode 3 is a twisted take on the Little Match Girl story, and I gotta be honest, is really funny. This one actually got several and consistent full laughs out of me, and special kudos to Enna for absolutely destroying her role, and the town. Episode 4 actually lends credence to my lore theory? Apparently Tazumi Sacho really is a god and can be summoned with powerful enough Niji magic. Another really pretty funny one though, and I really need to know what this banger song is near the end.
Phew! I'm glad we got Ike out to choose big guns.
Also, I just need to take a moment and be absolutely honest. The funniest joke in the entirety of Niji Scenario is this one.
Hey, that's cold.
Ah! And I don't know why. It has nothing to do with any of the VTubers. It's just, it hits me every single time. I love it. It's good. It's a good joke. And here's where we would stop if there wasn't one more series to get through. That's right, Nijisanji ID actually has an anime of their own. Hold on.
Sinetron.
Sinetron. From here on out, I will try and say that word as little as possible for the sake of all the Indonesian viewers out there, which apparently there are some of you. Also, you should subscribe. Or Niji Soap operas are ID's take on the VTuber anime game and introduce yet another stylistic shift. With stories made to poke fun at the absurdity and melodrama of soap operas, this time our Oshis take their normal forms and are superimposed over various images and backgrounds. Weirdly enough, I might argue that this is actually the most natural feeling take on the animation processes that we've seen. Maybe it's just me, but seeing these mostly frozen 2D models superimposed onto photographed backgrounds adds this level of fun honesty that is just lighthearted and enjoyable. With Snack Time's 3D models and Niji Scenario's visual novel aesthetics, I almost feel like they're taking themselves just a little too seriously in terms of trying to be an anime, and that kind of hurts the humor. With Niji Sinetron, just looking at the video primes you for a fun and goofy time that just wants you to smile and follow along. I'd go through each one like I did the other series, but almost every episode is about 4 times as long as your average Snack Time or Niji Scenario episode, and quite honestly, they are all well worth your time to go watch. Seriously, telling you what happens and ruining some of these twists would be a massive waste because these episodes go places. All in all, each series has their strengths and weaknesses. Due to their short form factor, Niji Scenario and Snack Time are easily the most hit or miss. With only 2 or so minutes, they really need to come out swinging and keep up a good sprint throughout. While some episodes accomplish this with ease, others can fall very flat if it's not to your sense of humor. Luckily, none of them ever stick around too long, so if a particular episode isn't doing it for you, you can rest easy knowing that it'll all be over pretty soon. Niji Scenario, on the other hand, uses its longer form factor very well. Allowing jokes to breathe and having fun with the insane twists leads to a stellar little series that is probably the one you should actually go watch if you were to only pick one of these 3. But honestly, watching all 3 is maybe an hour and a half of your time at most. There's no real reason not to just do all of it. Just go watch them. It's not that complicated. And I have no way to end this video. So please subscribe, like, comment, links down below the YouTube things, twitch.tv/SteveSekai, twitter.com/SteveSekai, patreon.com/SteveSekai, and I will see you in the next one.